go to the Facebook to complain.
How do they go to Facebook? You know, if they want to check out the Facebook.
Yeah, I know. Go to the Facebook. It's just the username is CCR Cambridge.
Okay, CCR Cambridge. If you want to check out the Facebook, CCR Cambridge, and go to YouTube, the keywords Clyde Hicks, CLYDE HICKS. A lot of great segments.
Yes.
You know, you can always, like, if you missed this show, or you missed the first half, you missed the first hour, you can always go and you'll find maybe 15 to 20 minutes of the first hour, even the second hour too, that you're enjoying right now.
Okay.
Sports
So-
and this scope. I was getting ready to say sports and entertainment was with the items.
Oh yeah, that
Get
is
that out of
our
my mind.
content. That
It's
is
in my
our
mind.
content. It's also right. That is our content.
You know what it is? I gotta get used to it. I'm getting used to it. It's just saying scope.
Yes.
Because, you know, I'm so used to going sports and entertainment, newsworthy items.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Okay.
scope. I love scope. It's so
Wonderful.
catching, and a lot of people stop me in walking in the streets here in
Okay.
here in Cambridge and in Boston and all around. They say, Clyde, I love scope. It's so catchy. I love the way the title of the show was changed. And he said, you're talking about a lot of subjects and issues now. Instead of just sports and entertainment, you're really branching out now. You're broadening your horizons. You're talking about things I find very important: education, politics, architectural designs. You're talking about everything that I like: food, genetically made fish. You're talking about things that I find interesting, you know, things that everyday people have to deal with: the high prices of food, the high prices of clothing, the expense of an education today, you know, the value of education today. A charter school is better now than public schools. Would you prefer me to have my son or daughter in a charter school, or would you prefer, do you think the public schools have advanced enough and the level of education has rise to the point where they can be successful on the next level, which is college or grad school? Do you think they'll be prepared? Do you think they'll be prepared for the SATs? Are the public school teachers doing a good enough job? These are the things Scope talks about, and these are the things my friends on the street want to see me talking about more often, and I will get there. Scope.
Okay, wonderful. So maybe we can continue to talk more about the constructions about constructions and architectures buildings about Boston. So do you think the public buildings reflects the society's psychology?
I don't think it reflects today's society. I think it reflects the society of the past, like old colonial look, the building designs, you know, of early day New England, going back to the colonial days, the brick roads, sidewalks that we still have here in Cambridge, where the great Margaret Fuller walked, and reside right here, maybe blocks from us, and we still have that look, the old colonial look, and that's in Boston a lot. You find that around Beacon Hill, a lot in the North End, and it's a good look. It's a good look.
A lot of buildings there I think it already more than 100 years old, right? And then that still remains there. The government and then the construction companies, they didn't destroy it.
No,
so
because it's history.
I think it reflects the people's psychology. They want to keep the historical buildings, and they love to keep the historical buildings, and then they love the culture there. How do you think? I mean, how do you think about the old buildings and also the new buildings? What is your attitude about destroy the historical buildings towards to change to the new buildings? What is your opinion?
I think the older buildings that reflect the history of this area, they need to be saved, you know, and they've been doing a good job at saving them and reconstructing them. And I think it's beautiful, but keeping the old the old look, which is very, very important. Whether the history is good or bad, you want to be able to see what the buildings and what old New England looked like, or old Boston looked like, or so you want to have that look, you know, and so you want to maintain the history.
Okay.
It's very important to maintain the history, but in the meantime, you want to advance the skyline, the landscape too, and you know, to a higher level of current times. And so it's good to have a combination of both. And if you can maintain a combination of both, it's a beautiful thing. And I think this is what they've been able to do here in the general Boston, Cambridge, and New England area. They've been able to maintain both.
Okay, sure. Sorry, it's if we keep the historical buildings, right, for more than 100 years, that means the buildings very old. After the rains and the snowing storms, the buildings was destroyed. So if we want to keep them, then we have to repair them.
That's what I'm talking
and a
about,
lot
reconstruction.
Of money, restructions, we need to spend money.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, so this a portion of money comes from the taxes from the people, maybe comes from the government. Okay, if the governors they have two options like you to choose. One is to keep the historical buildings, restructure them. Second is health insurance. So which one would you like to choose?
No, I can't equate health insurance with the reconstruction or the preservation of historical buildings. I can't go there. I can't, you gotta come up with something else, and a better example for me in comparison. I can't equate the two because one doesn't even belong there. The healthcare doesn't belong with the preservation of historical buildings.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It just doesn't belong there. That's I can't even fathom the part of mentioning those two in the same sentence.
Oh, so this
and
is
seeing
not
that I have to
this-
make a choice, as a taxpayer, whether I want, health care or spend the money in preserving historical buildings.
Yes.
And which one's more important,
Right.
and which one is more necessary.
Right.
Because, if you were to rephrase it and ask me in that aspect, which one is more important, I would go with healthcare. Because I think people's healthcare and every American having healthcare, being able to get a mammogram, being able to get cancer checkups, I think it's very, very important. It's vital for the preservation of our seniors who are historical human beings and treasures in their own right, that they have healthcare.
Okay, you know what, Clyde? I just want to tell you that this is the reason. This is the excuse why Beijing, the government, they destroyed a lot of historical buildings. They say, well, to keep the historical buildings is a good thing. However, we need to spend a lot of money. If we spend this money on people's health insurance, we give more people for the seniors, and we take care of the homeless little kids, then that would be great, because we live in currently, we don't live in the past. So that's why there is, less and less historical buildings in Beijing.
There's federal money here in America.
Right.
There's the federal money, and the government's money, the federal money, which took care of the reforming of healthcare, the historical bill that Obama had passed, so that every American could have healthcare, whether it kicks in 2013 or not, every American will have that. And then there's the local government here that funds the historical preservation of historical buildings and sites, and so it's two separate entities. One's the federal government, which was the healthcare. That's why I couldn't really equate the healthcare thing, which is very important. And Obama had that reformed and had that bill passed, which is beautiful, which was outstanding. And every American has health care, and whether it kicks in, like I said, 2013. And then there's there's the local governor, there's the mayor, there's those folks, the legislative body here, they're the ones that have the appropriate funds or get the funds to preserve these buildings. And this is what they choose to do. Now, whether you can hold them and say, should they be spending that money that they get allocated to preserve these buildings and these historical trails and everything? Should they take that money and give that to the homeless and help them build more affordable housing, or to call those people to help them? I say, forget the buildings and help the people. Now, that's okay.
Okay.
Now I go that way on that.
Okay, okay.
Scope.
Yes.
Sissy,
This is good.
Clyde,
Oh,
Scope.
this is
Okay.
yeah.
Unbelievable. We got boy, time flies.
Yeah, time flies.
We went from the cable casting room to Studio One, and in all this 2 hours is just
Yeah,
about gone.
and
We
they
got
have been-
maybe 8
Yeah.
minutes left.
Yeah, we have been talking about the Frankenfish. I
Mhm.
mean, initially we talk about the jazz event, right?
Oh, yeah.
Jazz festival. Then
And
we talk about the Frankenfish,
Right.
the genetic engineered modified fish.
Mhm.
Then we talk about the constructions like the cult buildings and the library
And your
and the
birthday
airport.
party. Her birthday party was unbelievable. China. I was in Chinatown. I'm the only black guy in the room. I'm the only guy and the only American in the room.
40
Now,
people.
no, I can't say that because just because
Surprise,
you're
but-
Asian doesn't mean you're not American. But I'm in the room with all these folks, and I'm sitting there, and boy, it's like 50 or 60 people, all Sissy's friends, and it was food was so beautiful. The people were so beautiful. I had such a great time after leaving a great event here Friday night at Cambridge Community Television, the celebration of the
Opening
new
already.
Cambridge Community Television,
Yeah.
new home, and everything, moving into the new home, which was great. And Susan Fleischman, executive director, did a great job coordinating that with her staff. It was such a beautiful time. And Sissy was well represented at that function Friday here. You would think that the queen of the Ruby, which I like to call her from China, the beautiful Ruby from China, you would think it was a private party of her own. She was walking around with all her delegates and all her friends and having such a great time. No, it was just a beautiful event.
I don't know that is a surprise birthday party. I don't really know. I have no clue of that.
Oh yeah, wow, that was beautiful.
So amazing.
And that was
So
arranged by
surprising.
Tony, the president of Chinatown. That was unreal. He did such a great job. And Susan did such a great job here with the function here Friday. It was beautiful. Really, it was. It was beautiful. One of the best functions I've ever been at
beautiful
Cambridge
day.
Community Television. It was beautiful all the way around.
Beautiful day.
That's why I feel so good. I feel so fulfilled. I had a great weekend. I didn't have to go to the jazz festival. I was fulfilled so much with being at great events and being around beautiful people. Such a great time. That's
Yeah.
life. Life is beautiful.
Yeah, life
it really
is really beautiful.
I thank God and
And
I
you know
praise
what?
the Lord every day when I wake
Oh,
up. When I wake up in the morning.
Thanks God. And then there is one more news that I want to share with you. And that birthday party is not only happy, not only pleased the city, and we also did a very great job that we save a person's life on that birthday party, because there is do you remember there is another table and several seniors they sit there, right? Actually, one of them is having cancer, and then because they say they are so happy and they are enjoying and talking with the friends and enjoying the food and enjoying everything. So he sees the beautiful life. He saw his hope. He saw in the beautiful future. So his attitude changed sharply.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It's all
so,
attitude. It's all
yeah,
mental.
that attitude, mental things, and then his relative that says, "Wow, there's 40 people save my father's life."
Beautiful. That's a beautiful story. Very beautiful. I'm so
Yeah.
happy for him.
Yeah.
My love goes out to him and his family, and that
Yeah.
he's found himself in mental state come back to him in a strong way.
Yeah.
Because it's all mental. It's very, very beautiful. And I have to give you applause, and I have to for you being able to come in here, only being with me now for 5 or 6 months now, to be able to make the adjustments you made this morning with us moving around from room to room, and to be able to stay focused and to be able to have a great show, alongside me this morning, and be able to carry this whole thing off. And this is where you come from a long time. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
As a assistant president of Scope and CEO and co-host and what you do as an engineer on the website with YouTube and Facebook. That's not me, that's her.
It's too much.
And what she's doing, I mean, she's so beautiful and so articulate, and she
I'm a student of you.
and it's so quick learning, so fast.
It's the same feeling I always seem to get around.